Navi's turn. 10 seconds remaining.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Starladder Season 5. The hunt for the playoff spots continues. Na'Vi is not out of the running yet, but they must win, I believe, every last game to qualify for the Starladder Land Finals. Can they do it? They'll continue their run here today as they face off against eL'Pride. Of course, not playing without Vigas for a while now, and now playing with two stand-ins this game. So they have a tall order, a tough task ahead of them. I'm LDB on the summit, and I'm joined here today by Maruna. Welcome,
Hello,
Maruna.
everyone. Actually, eL'Pride are down to 3 players permanently now. Stork left them today or yesterday because of internal issues.
Boy, they're going the wrong direction as far as building a stable roster goes. And I mean, it's tough enough to play against Na'Vi when you have your full 5. This is not going to make life easier for them, I imagine.
Yeah, of course, Na'Vi have been performing great or even fantastic ever since they changed their roster. I believe they won every single matchup. Not sure about that.
I think they lost one game in a best of 3, but the last I checked, and I think they played some games since this point, they were 10 for 11 as far as their games won. So basically perfect. Oh,
and they're also, as always, fast on their draft. eL'Pride pick up the Lifestealer. They want to have that really strong carry at the moment, but Na'Vi already there to counter it with a Darkseer and a Magnus. Magnus with his RP can just RP the Lifestealer in his rage, and then he's not going to move and attack anymore.
I hope it's not a Dendy Mag. The last time I saw a Dendy Mag, he missed like 80% of his RPs. They did stomp the game anyway. That was the Mass Dagons game in the show match for We Play, but well,
yeah, it was
we'll
on
see.
US East, I think.
That's true. That's true. But even he was laughing about it. It was definitely an off day for Dendy. We'll see, though. Normally his mag is pretty solid, and it can be a psychological tactic. Just drafting this quickly means your opponents, maybe they feel a little bit additional pressure, thinking, oh, these guys know exactly what they want to do, and, well, how are we going to respond to it? Rubik, the third choice for Na'Vi. So, Kuroki's Rubik, almost certainly, most likely a Dendy Mag, and then looking at that Phonic Darkseer, I gotta say, Phonic's Darkseer, I think it's my favorite hero to see him play. He just does such a nice job against aggressive duel or defensive duel or tri-lanes of just finding experience, sometimes even getting double or triple kills. We saw him do that a lot on Empire, and I think it might be his best hero, although most people look at his Whispers, Clinks. I'm personally most impressed by his Darkseer. So anyway, a very strong mid-game teamfight combo for Na'Vi. Whereas for eL'Pride, they go for the Silencer. Is it going to be yet another support Silencer, Maruna?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that the exact same draft we seen last game? Queen of Pain and Silencer were in another order, and the first pick was on the other side, but apart from that, it looks very similar. Very, very similar.
The Rubik was on the other side.
Yeah. But
otherwise, yeah. Darkseer Mag were on one team, Lifestealer, Silencer, Queen of Pain were on the other.
10 seconds remaining.
And
welcome to the metagame.
welcome to European Dota. We're not seeing much Silencer play in Europe, or in Asia, at least not yet. And Prophet ban as well. This is a very common ban nowadays in Europe. Just the Prophet Lifestealer combo is what teams are really worried about more than anything else. And I mean, when you look at eL'Pride lineup, their strength is going to be their split push. Their team fight is decent, but with a hero like Silencer, I would actually say your team fight is not really that great if you're taking a lot of clashes. It can be nice for one big clash once in a while, but that ult has such a long cooldown and doesn't guarantee you kills the way something like a Magnus RP can. They go for Visage as well, so potentially, most likely looking at that aggressive tri-lane, and what are Na'Vi going to lane against it? I think they may just go aggressive on their own, send the Darkseer safe lane, and, well, how are you going to kill a Darkseer? With a Visage, a Lifestealer, and a Silencer? It's just not going to happen, so I'm not sure how they're going to fit this Visage pick into their lanes and actually punish Na'Vi for it.
Na'Vi still needs a carry. I'd say it's going to be Luna, but then again, it's Na'Vi, so you're never sure when it's a Spirit Breaker.
Could be a Spirit Breaker, could be a Bloodseeker. Hopefully it is. Could be a Slark. I'm always excited to see Slark.
Is he in CM yet?
I think he is.
Because I believe he isn't. Because
he
I
is
talked
in Dota 1, I believe.
I talked to some people about it, and especially Sin said he'd pick him all the time if he was in Captain's mode. So I'm pretty sure he actually isn't because of the change in essence shift. I believe the people in the chat are going to tell us in a few seconds.
Yeah, they'll tell us in 2 minutes or so. I don't even remember when it was changed, to be honest. That's a hero that I've not been following very closely, but I'll be honest about that. But Undying the choice for Na'Vi, so if they want to go aggressive tri-lane, they definitely can. And Alliance Pride, it's going to be a Silencer tri-lane, most likely. They could run the Silencer mid, the Queen of Pain off lane versus Darkseer if they're anticipating Na'Vi's aggressive tri-lane, but we'll see. That Silencer... mid, I think, is a good matchup, but Queen of Pain's going to have a fairly tough time against Darkseer when he's in his own safe lane. Let's see what Na'Vi does with their final pick, though. Gyro, the obvious choice for a tri-lane, is not available, and I wonder who they would go to in this case.
I really like the Undying pick. It's like Lion's Pride say, look at us, we pick Visage, a hero with probably the best or the second best potential in an aggressive trial and with huge burst damage, and Na'Vi say, come at us, we have an Undying.
Oh, interesting. So they go for the Weaver as well, and we may see something like, I wonder, we could see the Lifestealer go mid, actually. He lanes pretty well against Magnus. You can get a lot of farm. Shockwave spam is annoying, but if you pull the Lifestealer, he has a relatively easy time, but he can trade blows well with the mag, and you can send Queen of Pain off lane. And Weaver versus the tri-lane with a Rubik Undying +1. Most likely should be able to live, so I'm not sure. We'll have to see. It could be a Lifestealer tri-lane and a Weaver 1v1 versus Darkseer. But that's a tough lane for Weaver because the lane's always going to push. And my main issue with the Lions Spread draft is I don't really see how they lane against this Darkseer. They can't really kill him with an aggressive tri-lane. They don't have anyone who lanes particularly well 1v1 against him. And I think Navi's really going to exploit that Darkseer advantage by picking a Clink. So let's see. I guess a Clink safe lane. And then potentially a Darkseer tri-lane, and it's going to be a Funnic Clinks, yeah. So it looks like an aggressive tri-lane with Havost in the lane. Not something I've never seen him play Darkseer.
Oh, you never know when it's Na'Vi. And one thing I want to point out about Lion's Pride lineup, look at the heroes. How much stuns do they have?
Yeah, it's what I was mentioning early, and it hasn't gotten any better. That's it. Oh man, this is not good. They're up against Clinks, Darkseer, heroes that you need to stun or they just run away from you. Oh, this is look, and I don't even think they can win these lanes that easily. Clinks can do well 1v1 versus pretty much anyone on Lion's Pride lineup, especially if he gets pulled, which I imagine he will get pulled. Normally you do pull the Clinks if he's going to that safe lane, and normally he does go to the safe lane. It's going to be a Clinks on the Radiant side this time, not on the Dire. So we'll see for Na'Vi. They don't have to go aggressive, but it feels like they can, and it doesn't seem like eL'Pride can do much to stop it. So quickly, we'll introduce the teams. On the side of Na'Vi, we have Dendy Boss going mid as Magnus rushing the bottle. Puppey on the Undying has purchased the Courier. Kuroki on what has become his #1 go-to hero, the Rubik. Puppey has not gone as Keeper of the Light, though, this game, so that's something for the team. Havost going to be playing that Darkseer, and last but not least, it will be Funnic on the Clinks.
And on eL'Pride side, we have Riku, a stand-in on Queen of Pain, Android on Visage, Massacre on the carry Nakes, Lolik, also stand-in on Weaver, and Xako, that's how it's pronounced, on Silencer.
Yeah.
Who is going to be a support Silencer once again, and already starting with wards.
I just shed a few tears. Bruno calls it Shaco, you call it Zako, I'll just call it him Mr. X. We'll get as confused as possible. Weaver is going to be picking up 2 Reigns of Protection, and heading towards the bottom lane, so going for that early pair of Tranquil Boots, as well as that Reign of Aquila, most likely. We'll see. Na'Vi not going aggressive, though. Looks like they're going to play defensive tri-lane. Just run Havost in the jungle. Funnic will take the safe lane farm. The 2 supports will pull a lot. Not a bad choice either, and I think they'll be fine getting the trades. They can also look to gank mid. Dendy, if the Rubik comes in, can potentially pick up a kill with the Darkseer to chase. Queen of Pain can blink once, but that's it. So if you have something like Surge, once that RP is up, maybe around the 5-6 minute mark, we may see a gank towards the mid lane. But the early game looking to be incredibly passive for both teams. And Puppey has a
there's
smoke,
something
so he's
really interesting up on the Weaver. He has 2 Rings of Protection. That's not something we usually see. What is he gonna buy with that?
Yeah, I think I just mentioned this briefly, but yeah, Tranquil Boots, Arena of Aquila, I imagine, is the idea behind it. It's a lot to farm. It's a lot to farm, but it does give you a ton of regen in lane. And the thing is, if you're laning against really anyone on Na'Vi, whether it's Darkseer or Clinks, you're gonna need a lot of regen, so it makes quite a bit of sense.
And he's up against Funnick, and Funnick has Sentry Ward, so there's not going to be any hiding for that Weaver. And what are the supports? The supports are rotating around.
Yeah, they have. Oh, they are going to run an aggressive tri-lane in the end, and I really think they're better off doing it, although they don't have to. And with the smoke of the seed up on Puppey, they're going to smoke gank top, basically, from level 1. Funnick has been pulled as expected, not only the sentries, but also an additional set of regen. And that's going to make life a bit easier for him in this lane. Weaver's not going to have a good time of it. There's your open wounds on Havos to start. He's been baiting like a boss. There's an Undying. 3 heroes get decayed. The Ion Shell should be applied to Puppey in a moment's time, just chasing and mashing and biting Shaco. And Shaco's dropping pretty low. He will sub up. They're not going to get the kill just yet, but maybe they will with the lift onto Android P, who's trying to run away. He used the Grave Chill down. He'll go to Ion Shell, and the level 1 bait. Well played by Havos. Acted, played the fool, pretended like he was just out too far out of position, and eL'Pride took that bait. Hook, line, and sinker.
You know it's Na'Vi when the first blood is happening before the first minute. Kuroki was coming in a little bit too late. He's not the fastest hero without boots, so he couldn't get the telekinesis off, but they still killed off the Visage. So that's fine.
I mean, in the end, it's a nice play by Na'Vi, and I want to say it's something that I saw yesterday, I believe. Maybe it was in the... Did that happen in the IG versus LGD series? Or no, maybe it's something I watched in actually God's stream for Armageddon Land, but it can be a pretty effective strategy if your opponents think you're going defensive tri-lane, and then all of a sudden your 2 supports just come in, either smoked or just showing up late to the lane. Something that teams often don't expect, and they get greedy. Oh, let's kill this off laner. He's playing dumb, but... when you're up against a player like Havos, you got to figure he's known for his aggression, but not that early. Here they go though onto Puppey. Man mode from Puppey, but might actually pay with his life. He's dropping low. The telekinesis stun is there. Puppey will fall. Havos forced to run away. Big overextension. Puppey, I think, overestimating the amount of damage those. Did he actually buy back? Why does it keep on telling me that that blue hero is buying back? I guess not. My game's just bugged.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you have that bug where those little coins aren't disappearing anymore. Oops, I just...
Puppey is perpetually rage buying back this game. That's what it is.
Yeah, but they were really aggressive, like normal Na'Vi aggression. But it's still an Undying, and he was level 1 at that point. And yes, he can decay, but it's not the best spell if you really want to go super aggressive in, because you can't stun and you can't deal a lot of burst damage. Decay is more something you apply over time.
Wow, look at the bottom lane. Funnick as well as Lolik both lost pretty much all of their regen. And for Puppey, as you were mentioning, he's going to hit level 2 now. So now he has access to Soul Rip. The tri-lane gets a lot scary. Once he hits level 3, it really gets tough for eL'Pride. But the good news for them, they actually have, well, good vision up in the lane. They've also sentry warded off the big pull camp, so Na'Vi can't use that to pull the lane back. And they can do some pulls of their own here. So if eL'Pride just play this defensively, they should be alright. I don't think they can really contest Na'Vi when Na'Vi comes to jack the pull is the main issue. Darkseer and Undying are just too strong in these early clashes. With Silencer in the lane, who just doesn't bring a whole lot to the table. But we'll see. Funnick now with Tranquil Boots of his own up. So the bottom lane, Weaver's not going to have a good time. In fact, might die here. Funnick deploys the second sentry. He's going to chase. He needs one more auto attack. There's no mana for an additional Sakuchi. Lolik is dead. Unless he can deny himself to the neutrals. He can!
Whoa.
Oh, just barely. Meanwhile, top lane.
They're going
Top lane, huge dive on Android P. Puppey's giving chase with the Ion Shell on himself. Kuroki will fall. That was a big, big nuke from the Visage, but now he's dead. That's the primary source of DPS in this tri-lane. The Tombstone deployed. The chase will commit. Puppey's giving chase. Where's that Ion Shell? Puppey doesn't have it. A TP in immediately from the Visage. Back to the fight. Now the Grave Chill on Puppey, but he's got 5 decay stacks. Make it 4 now, as I believe 1 just wore off. He's also tangoing up. He'll be okay. He'll be able to back off in the end. Wow. Funnick getting a solo kill bottom that, I mean, it cost him an additional sentry ward. He did get the kill, though. The Weaver just a little bit over-eager there, and that early Sakuchi is such a long cooldown.
At the same time, now they're overextending top once again. Visage is an incredibly strong hero early on, you don't believe it. But his soul assumption in a try versus try just deals so much damage, and it's just level 1. If he's gonna get level 3 now, and level that up, it's gonna deal even more damage. And after all, they're running an interesting kind of aggressive tri-lane because they have a Darkseer, not the usual carry you have. So they have a Surge to get away and an Ion Shell, which deals damage over time.
Yeah, I mean, the way they kill is basically putting Ion Shell on Undying, and then he just runs next to you with like 5,000 HP, or at least 900 or so, once he has a couple of decay stacks up. Imagine if it wasn't a silencer. I guess that's my point. Is if this was some other support, like a Shadow Demon, someone who actually has burst damage. Curse of the Silent is nice in Trillians in theory, but look at who you're up against. Darkseer and Undying, who have some of the cheapest nukes in the game. And even Rubik, relatively high monopole. His nukes are somewhat expensive, but he can get a few off early on mid lane. A big dive from Riku, who's got a haste rune. It will wear off now. Dendi will nuke. He's got a shockwave. He's going to throw the shockwave out. Riku barely lives. Oh, Queen of Pain so close
and the
to getting
bottle
that kill.
comes in.
Yeah, just in the nick of time. He can bottle up in between those Shadow Strike ticks. Should be able to live. In fact, he will. He is slow, though. Riku almost finding the solo kill. That would have been huge for them, but unfortunately not quite able to. So in the end, top lane going slightly in Navi's favor, Funnick crushing his lane, and then mid lane seems to be a draw. In fact, is pretty much a dead even draw. And now a wild smoke gank towards the bottom lane from of all heroes, Undying and Rubik. Smoke ganking Undying, now I've seen it all.
Looks like they agreed that top, with the aggression they want to play, doesn't work, and now they're trying to gank a Weaver with an Undying. I'm curious to see how that's going to work.
They should lead with the Rubik, but Puppy's in front right now. Funnick, no sentries on him at the moment. If they don't get the lift, Weaver's just going to run away, and Weaver is just going to run away. So that's a massive amount of time wasted.
Puppy has boots, that's why he's so super fast, and Kuroki doesn't have boots yet. He has been buying wards, so...
If only you could pull boots to your support.
And with 6 minutes in. He should really have them by now. But now he's pulling, I believe, so he's gonna get a little bit of gold.
That's okay, though, because Funnick has double Sage's mask up, and oh, this Weaver actually doesn't have Sakuchi mana. He's 5 away. They're not gonna go just yet, but Funnick is looking at a really fast Orchid. Already 36 CS at 6.5 minutes in. If you look at eL'Pride's lineup, there's so many easy heroes to burst down. And, RP on the mid lane onto Riku, who's now skewered, but will blink away. The decay from low ground to high ground is just enough with the soul
Nice steal,
rip.
Puppy.
It does KS a little bit in the end, but gets the kill. That's the main thing.
Oh, Dendi didn't have mana for a shockwave, so I guess it's okay to just really secure it with those 2 spells.
I think they had it anyway, just because the Queen of Pain had already used her blink, but it would have been close. So the safe route in the end.
And now looks like Navi just rotated their supports into bottom and to jungle to farm them a little bit, because if they're not getting kills top, what is the Undying gonna do? How is he gonna get levels on his Tombstone? Now they're gonna go bottom again.
Yeah, they're gonna go on the Weaver again. They
can't reach him.
Yeah, Rubik really needs phase boots. He needs boots, period. Oh, Kuroki's gonna circle around for the shop. Lolik just out of range. Will be okay. Navi devoting a lot of energy to this Weaver and giving the tri-lane of eL'Pride a bit of a breather. They're going to start pressuring top. Phase boots up on the Lifestealer, giving chase to Avos, but they can't kill him. As mentioned, where are the stuns? They don't have any.
And now they got Weaver, but Weaver is just too fast and they don't have the super burst damage to bring him down. They just going to push the tower instead now.
So both teams trading their tier 1s right now. If anyone's going to find a kill, it should be eL'Pride or Navi if they can just get a lift on the Weaver, but Rubik's not even going to bother with it. They're just muscling the tower down. Funnick has that first Oblivion Staff more or less. Oh, Lolik, if he gets lifted, he's dead. He's just out of rage. Doing everything he can to slow down this push. So towers traded pretty much exactly at the same moment. Navi really pulling ahead in CS, and it all comes down to the fact that this Clinks has 50 CS at this point in the game. The Darkseer is something, the Weaver pretty much nothing.
And we also see it in the gold graph. I mean, it's Navi. Which team does outfarm Navi in early game? They're always getting so much more out of their lanes. They're just so skilled at last hitting and at laning, especially Dendi in mid. I mean, we've seen Magnus going up against the Queen of Pain in our last game, and now look who's ahead in CS.
Yeah, I mean, give the team credit as well, because Puppy came and helped him secure that kill. But even before that, Dendi was CSing really well. He's actually ahead of the Queen of Pain, and like you said, I think it was the last 2 games we cast, or I cast 2 games. I think you were only with me for the one, but the Queen of Pain normally dominates the mag. You should be able to win that matchup, but it's just Dendi just playing a little bit better. He wasn't pulled or anything like that, so credit where credit is due.
And now Klings already has his first Oblivion stuff. He's gonna get a super early Orchid, and then he can just silence the Weaver, and then Weaver's not gonna run away anymore.
Yeah,
Now
I mean,
they're
not
going
just
to
the Weaver.
mid.
Everyone. The Queen of Pain is an easy kill. The Visage is an easy kill. Dendy's going in with the haste. He's got the
Oh,
skewer.
Dendy.
Oh, Riku.
This could be bad.
Riku could be trapped. Dendy's going to skewer back and whiffs the RP. Oh, Dendy, not off to a good start with those RPs. The 80% miss rate in the show meds. The last time I cast him, I must be bad luck for him. Puppey in trouble. Puppey will fall. And with no RP, they're actually in a bit of a pickle here. Havos runs forward. Havos will run away. Dendy wants to go back in, but has no skewer, has no RP. The shockwave splashes through. Oh man, these Dendy RPs, I must be bad luck for him or something.
Yeah, at the moment, Navi are falling behind in wards. They don't have a ward at the top rune, so they didn't see that rotation coming in. And Dendy went in aggressive, and then realized he's in a lot of trouble and had to skewer out through the trees. Didn't hit the RP, so in the end it was 1-for-1, wasn't it?
It could have been huge. I mean, it looked like for a moment there he might be able to skewer in, bring the Queen of Pain with him, and also catch the other two heroes, but it just ended up that he got nobody in the end. A nice delta split, as you like to call them. Then he gets caught by a Scream, as well as a few auto attacks. Oh, he's gonna live. Just barely, though. And that Orchid's coming for Funnick. The clock is really ticking.
Is being aggressive with his spells. Because it can just be so annoying, especially that disarm can be annoying against any carry. Because you can't remove it. You're either going to be silenced or disarmed. It's both not something you want to have.
Yeah, I mean, generally you'd like to cast a nuke so you don't eat both of them, but either way, it's painful. Funnick, though, the Orchid, it's going to be such an early Orchid. We're looking at, like, maybe 13 minutes in at the latest. Potentially as early as 12.5 minutes top lane. They're going to look to go on Havos, but can they actually bring him down? The curse to start, and now the last word to follow.
It's just running out.
But, I mean, it's... what are you going to do? It's just,
That's
how
what
do you
we
kill,
said, no stuns.
How do you kill him? It's just not going to happen.
No stuns. Visage is still half a level away from having his familiars, and even hitting the familiar stun on a Surge Darkseer is pretty difficult.
I mean, it's just what we talked about as soon as the Darkseer pick came out, and so the first 3 picks for eL'Pride were complete, is how do they actually punish the Darkseer? And there was just no way to do it. There's nothing like a Shadow Demon or a Rubik, you know, even any kind of stun, even a Stormbolt or a Light Strike Array, which at least gives you a fighting chance of killing him. But Funnick, the Orchid, I mean, he's pretty much got the money. He needs one more creep wave, that's it. Can even just go into the jungle, which is probably what we'll see him do. As Death Pact is down, and that's how you want to do his Clinks, is push the lane, then go into the jungle and Death Pact to creep. He's just trying to be as efficient as possible. He might pick up the regen rune bottom. Looks like he will do so. Nope, actually denied by the Visage. So instead, he'll just go eat a big creep, and that should be his Orchid. No, he's going to go back to the lane. Funnick, make up your mind.
One thing we have at least is if you look at the level chart again, the supports are doing fine. They're all gonna have their ultis up, and even though the XP difference is about 2k at this moment, it doesn't mean that much. I think you cast a game with Bruno where he talked about it. For the Magnus to level up to the next level needs 1000 experience, so 2000 XP ahead is not that much.
Yeah, I mean, experience has diminishing returns, which is why I'm really not a fan of the graph, because it's not 12,000 experience doesn't mean the same amount at all points in the game, and it doesn't mean the same amount for all heroes, depending on what their existing levels are. It has diminishing returns in the end. So Funnick, Orchid now on the way, on the Courier, and let's see what he can do. Also, they have a mech coming soon of the Darkseer, and if you're eL'Pride, you have an armlet on your Lifestealer, but you don't have any big core item up like a mech or an Orchid that's going to allow you to start taking the fight to Navi. And Navi are going to do it. RP, this time he'll catch him. Gets Android, skewers him back, will Shockwave as well. Just taking that safe, easy RP, but the Queen of Pain ult was nice. The Queen of Pain ult stolen by Kuroki, might have been better. Rika will live in the end. The Tombstone deployed, everybody forced to run. Havos just pushing, Funnick just farming, but has the Orchid, and I imagine we'll see him get involved in these fights now. That's what he's going to do. eL'Pride does not know about the Orchid, and they should be able to kill the Lifestealer if they... No, Sentry
Ward. I don't understand that. Why would Dendy go in if he had 100 gold left to a Blink Dagger?
Oh, Funnick.
He could have just waited. Have a Blink Dagger and do the same combination, just a lot better.
I think he actually had the money for it after that kill, because he was sitting about 2,000 before they got the kill.
And then he died and lost it again.
Yeah, I think he just didn't sell it in time because he thought, or buy it in time because he thought he was going to be able to live. But no big harm done, I think, overall. Navi's still in good shape. But yeah, it's a little bit sloppy and something where you're so close. That Blink, now you don't really need RP. You can Blink and skewer a lot of these eL'Pride heroes back. And 3 of them can escape, the 3 carries, but the 2 supports will just die if you catch them. So it's an easy way for them to get kills.
And now we have Funny going top. Is he gonna go on the Weaver? I believe he is.
Oh, yeah.
Dire's
Oh,
middle
yeah.
tower
There's
is
no
under
tower
attack.
here, though. Actually, the Weaver may live through this. It's going to time-lapse out. Nice play. If there's a tower there, he'll definitely die to the tower damage, or at least it would have been a lot closer. And the tier 1 being pressured mid. Na'Vi going to look to take this. They don't have the RP, but it is cooling down soon. The Blink Dagger's about to arrive. The Familiars...
Kuroki stole Familiars.
Oh, boy. This is
I'm
great
sure he's gonna
for
be able
pushing.
to use them.
This is fantastic for
Radiant's bottom
pushing.
tower is under attack.
I mean, it's such a strong early game ability. You can also scout out, which will set up that Blink Skewer. That Blink
Third
RP.
wall.
There's the Global Silence from the Silencer. We'll deploy it now. They go in Kuroki. No more Familiars for him. He will fall. Dendy trying to find the RP. He's got a beautiful one. It's a 3-hero vacuum RP. Skewer, Shockwave, Bonanza, Destruction for eL'Pride. Buyback from Queen of Pain. Oh, man. What a combo there. That is just painful to watch.
Top tower
And
is
that's
under
how
attack.
RP works. Not just skewer in an RP, wait for your Blink Dagger and then
Dire's
do
top
something
tower
like
has
that.
fallen.
Or wait for your Havost and then do something like that.
And Funnick isn't even there. He's sitting top.
Yeah, while that was happening, he got the tier 1. Less exciting, but equally important. The map control now increasing for Na'Vi. And I think they'll back after this. They don't really need to force the fight at the tier 2s yet. You want to wait for that RP to cool down. And Funnick's going to head towards bottom. What has he picked up? Yasha? No, Crystallis. Crystallis already.
Oh, he wants to deal a lot of damage. And, I mean, the carry on the Dire side Nakes, he has an armlet. And Weaver, yeah, well, Weaver has an ultimate orb. That's not what you want to have against the Klings with 2 big items. Na'Vi are just so strong at this point, and they know it. They're just gonna wait for the RP to come off cooldown, and then they're just gonna take the next tower, take the next big fight.
Yeah, the issue for eL'Pride is the Queen of Pain and Lifestealer both either need a BKB or a Mantis Style or a Lincoln Sphere. Mainly the Mantis Style would only be for the Weaver, but they need a way to remove that silence from Funnick, and those items are fairly expensive. And Funnick just so far ahead in CS. He's got 110 despite being active around the map. That is some sick farm, and he's going to find Massacre here. He needs +1 to kill him, I think. Won't be able to burst him down, especially with the armlet online. He's hunting him. He's scouting him. But meanwhile, Kuroki and Dendy, the 2 best killers on the team, are on the other side of the map. Uh-oh. Here we go. Decay to start. Nukes to follow. He'll drop fast, even with the armlet. He does have Infest, though, but doesn't matter. Pavost is there. Vacuums him back. Down he goes. And now they're going to pressure the tier 2, while Kuroki... look at the aggressive play from this Rubik. But with 3 heroes bottom, he feels safe that nobody's really going to punish this.
The Klings was just such a good pick because he's one of the heroes you buy on Orchid very early, and Orchid is good against every single hero of eL'Pride.
Yeah, I mean, even a hero like Lifestealer, where you're like, oh, he can rage. Well, he can't rage if he's silenced, even though it functions like a BKB
and we
when
just
it's
saw
active. Yeah. And the tower, oh, meanwhile, over towards the middle, Queen of Pain gets caught. That's a crucial hero for them. Keeps on dying, and unfortunately, that means no BKB in sight, no Lincoln Sphere in sight, no way to deal with the silence from Funnick, let alone the RP, which of course goes through it anyway. This is not looking good for eL'Pride. Na'Vi already up by 8k gold, 8k experience, and they're pressuring the tier 2 bottom. Funnick mans up into the entire enemy team. He just knows they don't have any reliable stuns. He will be grave chilled, I believe, and open wounds. He will go down, but just standing and delivering is Funnick, now forced to run away. Puppy can soul rip him, but just gonna spam the decays instead. Nice stun by the Familiar. Oh, actually missed just slightly, but the second one will hit. Kuroki is here. He stole Sakuchi. Such a good spell to steal from these Cataclashes. Dendy did use his RP a little bit earlier. That's how they got the Queen of Pain kill, it looks like. Massacre toggling nicely, but now surrounded. Rages up. Can he fight his way out of this one? Funnick says no. Queen of Pain says yes. Gets Funnick. Drills him in the face. Then Riku looks to run. Darkseer. Clinks is going to buy back immediately. There's nothing to really buy back for unless they want to go Roche, but he's got a TP top to farm. Well, I don't know about that buyback, but overall the fight goes well for Na'Vi.
Yeah, it's... I mean, we've talked about how that Orchid is gonna shut Nakes down, but Nakes is also Nakes after all, so if he gets an open wound up on Undying, he can heal by quite a bit, and that got them a double kill there on the Queen of Pain. So it's still a strong hero, even with just an armlet and face boots.
Yeah, this Weaver is
But
not
Na'Vi-
happy either, by the way. Funnick,
Na'Vi are just being Na'Vi.
yeah, Funnick,
Super strong,
it's
a
just,
lot of farm.
it's just nothing the Weaver can do. Like you said, all these heroes are just so vulnerable to the Orchid.
Sorry, I just had to close my blinds because else people can look into my room and I don't want that.
Don't want them to see
So-
Navi playing Dota. That's only for those of you who are watching the stream. They can't get
Yes.
this for free.
And Navi are going into the jungle, and they're gonna find the familiars.
Just walking
And drop
buckets
the
of
two
gold.
down.
That's all these familiars are. And zombies fighting familiars.
Oh, Dandy. I knew he was gonna do that.
Blinks in, skewers back. Oh, he even RP'd for that. Oh no. Missed a kill mid while that was happening, so 2 kills missed in the end. My bad, but 2 more kills for Navi. RP was used there to get that secondary kill on the Visage, as well as, of course, the familiars, which are worth a lot of gold. I mean, they're like walking banks, basically.
And they're not doing that much at the moment. Apart from getting killed off, they scout out a little bit. But it's so hard to drop them in the fight, because all those heroes are quite elusive. I mean, Klinks is going invisible and running around, Magnus is gonna skewer back and forth, Darkseer is fast, and the other heroes, Undying is really tanky, and yeah, there's still a Rubik to kill, but try finding him in that combo. You know, a big fight.
They don't
So
have...
Familia's not doing super much.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 supports for eL'Pride, it doesn't really feel like the players are making a whole lot of mistakes. It's more just their composition doesn't allow them to do a whole lot. Nice open wounds to start on Massacre, but he does have Rage, and without RP, they're reluctant to go in. Funnick joins the fight. The Crystal has been up for a while, as mentioned. Now is an Ogre Club going for a BKB, and how does eL'Pride actually deal with that BKB? There's a global silence, true, but the damage is only going to come from Lifestealer, and he's just not able to stick on anybody right now.
It's also BKB up on Magnus.
I love it. Up against Global Silence, get an early BKB. That is the way to play your Magnetar. None of this Perseverance, Refresher, or silliness we saw last game. Well,
They won after all.
that's true, so it must have been perfect.
Yes. What are the items coming up on the Dire side? What do we have? We have a little bit of stuff on Weaver and Lifestealer, but that's all. There are 2 null talismans on Queen of Pain.
Yeah, I
The
mean...
hero which went mid.
Yeah, the Queen of Pain in particular has just been... It's been painful, and she has not had much space. The Weaver's gotten a little bit more, but the issue is building the Manta only helps you to not die to Funnick solo, and you still have to worry about getting RP'd or even Rubik lifted. They can probably burst you down if Funnick is Death Pact to creep and to strafe. He'll definitely have the damage for that. And he's now hunting, but he's going to run into a Sentry Ward. They spot him out. They're not sure how to react. Funnick thinks he can
can't
go
stun
in.
him.
They can't do anything. While they're waiting to figure out how to deal with him, they're going to pick off the Visage as well. 2 heroes dead. Now the tower to be easily claimed. And Denny blinks it. RP's Massacre. There's a hero that you actually really want to RP. Get silenced. Can't rage. Will drop with ease. Queen of Pain barely escapes. Triple for Havost. Didn't
We
really
also
do...
bought a Dagon.
Oh, that's how he got the triple. You devilish bastard. Dagon level 1 now up. Can easily be a Dagon level 3 in a few moments' time. And they're going to push the base. Navi, once again, going for a sub 25-minute win.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, they have all they need. They have the damage dealing items. They have a mech. They have the trolling items. What more do they need? They're just gonna go in.
Not enough Dagons for my blood, I must
Yeah,
say.
not enough divine rapiers for me, but they're still winning this.
But we can't have it all. Funnick might actually die under the tower here. He's dropping low, but he will be surged away. We'll be okay. I think... No, not. Maybe not. Riku blinks in. Will pay with his life. But a trade you'd normally be happy, and it's KS by Havost, who now is an even easier method for KSing now that he's picked up his Dagon level 2. And he's got the Soul Ring to fuel this spam.
But we saw that the Visage is still dealing a lot of damage. Soul Assumption level 4. And it's a pretty... I mean, it's 4-second cooldown. In a big team fight, you get it off 3-4 times. And he's dealing a lot of his team's damage at the moment.
Uh-oh, this is about to be a very sad Weaver. He's going to get skewered back into the tower. He can. Time-lapse just gets away. BKB even used by Dendi. I'm not really sure why. There's no reason
Must have
to
been
do it.
misclick.
Yeah, must have been a misclick. Loic says, leave me alone. Leave me alone, Kuroki. Don't do it. Don't do it. But he will do it. Now gonna look to run. Kuroki stolen Sakuchi is giving chase. Gonna run through Loic. Attack him a few more times. Down he goes to the decay. No mercy from Nabi.
No, and RP is back up. Dendi is... his BKB is on cooldown, but apart from that, they're all ready to go. Did Funnick farm some more items?
I assume
Not
so.
yet.
BKB should be coming soon. Is there anything on the courier? Nope. So
No.
a little bit less farm than I would expect. I mean, His CS is slowed down a bit, but he's still creating pressure. And the key thing is for eL'Pride, the Weaver keeps on dying, the Lifestealer can't really find much farm. And the Queen of Pain, I mean, she's gone for a ghost. She's gone for a Ghost Scepter, and she may die anyway. Havosta's gonna whiff on the vacuum. Queen of Pain will blink south. Uh-oh. She looks like she'll be safe for now. Even the Tombstone drop, yes, that does kill trees. But not gonna find her in the end.
Well, in the meantime, Funnick is gonna find Visage, but Visage is already back in base. It looks like they want to push bottom now. They haven't gone for the Roshan yet. Are they gonna do that first? Looks like it.
They pretty much have the map control too. Funnick, once these familiars, will find one. The other one's gonna be in the trees. But Funnick's desperately hunting it. He sees gold, dollar signs in his eyes.
And he rather goes and kills the big guy. Also gives more gold.
That guy can't fly. He can't run away.
Oh, he has wings though.
Yeah, those wings seem a little bit... I don't think this thing works from an aerodynamic standpoint.
Not really. So it's just to intimidate his enemies.
Yeah. Even Orchid... Oh man, even using the Orchid on the familiar so it can't stone form. That's cute, but ultimately ineffective. The Weaver bug's very annoyed. It's going to drive them back for the moment, but realistically, eL'Pride just can't take a fight right now. They're going to lift the Weaver mid. They can RP him as well. And with the Dagon from Havost, it's an
Didn't get the kill though.
Yeah. Mistimed. He has not been training in his Dagons, it looks like.
And now we're seeing a Refresher Orb coming up on Dandy soon. Queen of Pain, what are you doing?
She's trying to backstab. If Kuroki finds her, she will die. And I want to point out...
Backstab with a Ghost Scepter, right.
Something I want to point out this game is that Kuroki actually has a very early gem, and that's what I would like to see last game. And they go on to the fight. Dendy, BKB are just manning up, skewering back the Visage. Will bring him down. Now onto Riku, who's trying to run, has the ult, will blink away. Funnick unleashes the silence onto Massacre. Armlet toggles just in the nick of time. One more auto attack will bring him down, but he armlet toggles again. He's got a Shadow Blade. They don't have detection. He runs past the Sentry Ward. I think he's going to escape, and he will in the end. Meanwhile, Funnick, Havost diving the base, will live. Massacre man's up. Massacre is back up. Dendy doesn't have RP, and they know it. They're going to punish him for his insolence. Dendy will fall. They get the counter kill. Overall, not a bad engagement from eL'Pride, all things considered, but you got to remember, Na'Vi was not fighting with RP.
Yeah, and the fight isn't over.
Oh, man.
Look at Weaver.
That was almost a 3-shot. Funnick just can't be stopped. He's too big to fail. He could probably turn around and kill all 3 of these heroes by himself. If the gem comes in from Kuroki, that's a vacuum on 2, a silence on 1. Android P dropping low. He'll be Dagon down. The Courier joins the fight. It will be killed off by Massacre, who now tries to escape. No more armlet toggling. Finally, they get the kill. Boy, he lived forever and a day. And with Kuroki with Sakuchi, there's just no escaping him. They stop to farm familiars, but Kuroki's like, guys, we have a kill here. We have a kill here. Come and help me claim it. No kill yet. Lolic's still running. This is just torturous to watch. What a poor, unfortunate soul that Weaver is. Meanwhile, a Dagon on the other side. Queen of Pain is going to lose her gem.
Dagon 4.
That's a gem fed to the enemy team. And that's 2 gems for Na'Vi now. And
well, they got the Courier. eL'Pride got the Courier, but it already delivered the Demon Edge to Klings. So it was just a little bit of free gold. But I feel so sorry for that cute little weasel crow, or whatever it's called. It hurts my soul to see them die. And Roos is even using his Dagon to farm creeps. Oh god.
He's got the Dagon 5 now as well. Life gets even harder.
And Roshan's still up. Na'Vi prefer to fight.
Why farm creeps that can't run away when you can kill heroes that can? I guess that's the line.
That's just much more exciting. Na'Vi just like the thrill, and now Puppy is in quite some trouble.
Yeah, the Shadowblade Lifestealer is working out decently so far, but there are 2 gems, so I imagine eventually he's going to be in a pickle. He doesn't have a TP scroll, so he is definitely dead. Trying to run, but will fall in the end. Question is, can Kuroki back him up? Chasing in with Sakuchi against 3 as a 5-position Rubik. This is something you don't see every day. He's still manning up. He knows they don't have any stuns. This is just such a weak lineup to punish aggression. And Na'Vi is all about that aggression. He's even going into the base, thinks about backdooring. Well, it wouldn't be backdoor, but thinks about going for the rest.
Everyone is running after him.
Find Kuroki while Funnick farms. Seems like a recipe for success to me. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Lifestealer gets caught. Dendy doesn't have a gem, but the Havost does. Will infest inside a creep. Needs to pop out fairly soon. Roche just sort of chilling there. Massacre gonna run to the left. Let's see. if he's going to be able to escape. There is an RP. Can Dendy land it this time? He really doesn't want to miss another RP. He's not going to need to because there's your Dagon. Brings him down. Now Runa Droid P trying to run as well. Ghost Scepter for Queen of Pain, keeping her alive against that Orchid. Of course, you can't be attacked during that time, but you can be Sakuchi'd. You can be chased and then lifted. You can be zapped. But there's not quite enough damage to get the kill. Na'Vi will go back to mid, and it feels like the end is coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big problem if you need to go for items which just help you survive, because even if you can turn around, you have no damage, and
there's your
Ghost
RP.
Scepter, Queen of Pain. It's just, yeah.
Na'Vi are loving the Dagons as of late, I must say.
That's just one Dagon up so far.
There's your Queen of Pain ult. Barely even scratches them with the mech there. Now the Urn's being used. The Queen of Pain thrown up in the air. Blinking from Dendy. Auto attacks are down. Just a little empower in your face, he says. Now vacuums back Android P, who tries to run, but gets destroyed because Kuroki, once again, twice this game, has stolen the Sonic Wave. eL'Pride will tap out. And just another beatdown from Na'Vi.
Also, Visage wasn't using the familiars in the last fight, or in the last 2 or 3 fights. They were just sitting around Roche, so not the best play out from them, but still they survived for 30 minutes against the Dagon.
And Puppy's gone Ethereal Blade just to assist. That's teamwork right there. Puppy and Havos working together with their Ethereal Blade Dagon to maximize that Dagon damage. Really selfless play from Puppy. And this should be the end. So Maruna, Na'Vi keeps the dream alive.
Yes, we all want Na'Vi to take the 5th Starladder in a row. Me included.
Well, I at least want to see them go. I think it would be a shame if they don't. I wouldn't mind seeing someone else win it, but right now, it just seems like nobody can beat them. They will have a much tougher task later today. I believe it's actually been moved up to 20 CET from the original 21 CET schedule time, but Na'Vi are going to be playing Mouse, and we'll have to see if Black is in that game. Like you mentioned, maybe he's not going to play again. But if he does, it should be a much more difficult challenge, I would hope, than some of these other games. Funnick will just die by a random Blink Scream that was actually looking for Dendy, not Funnick. The fountain camping continues. Who is going to stop this Na'Vi squad? That's really the question right now.
Well, since they're going to China, maybe we'll find the answer there.
Yeah.
Maybe IG's gonna stop them. Maybe Navi's gonna stop IG.
Well, yeah,
we're gonna see.
It'll be a great storyline if they end up playing together. Well, we'll see when Na'Vi actually makes the trip there. I imagine they may wait until after Starladder before going, but a
when
triple
is Starladder
for,
finals?
I want to say in like a week or maybe 2 weeks.
There's still EMS, and that's on April 11th and 12th.
I think
That's
I'm pretty sure it's
almost-
before that.
Yeah, so maybe they want to wait for that. Because it's nice play. Because EMS, after all, is a lot of prize money. Na'Vi are having a good shot there. So they should definitely wait for that.
Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this particular game, as it looks like Vlad is getting ready to go into No Tide Hunter versus Mouse, which means that we should too. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll have more Starladder action coming up after this. Oh, and by the way, I'm LD. She's Maruna. You can follow her. Where can they follow you, Maruna?
My Twitter is @Maruna_Dota, and I'm gonna paste it into the chat in a second.
Okay, stay tuned, guys. More Starladder after this.